What if success isn't random? What if it leaves clues? Think about it. The wealthy don't just earn differently, they think differently long before the money ever shows up. Jim Rohn believed that success is predictable when you study the patterns of those who've already made it. In this video, we're breaking down how the wealthy think early, the mental habits they build before success arrives, and the small shifts that change everything. If you're serious about upgrading your mindset, your income, and your future, stay with me until the end, because the last lesson might be the one that changes your life. Lesson 1. They take responsibility early. The cornerstone of the wealthy mindset is the absolute refusal to play the victim. In a world where it is culturally fashionable to point fingers at the government, the fluctuating economy, or a difficult upbringing, the wealthy thinker understands that blame is a form of spiritual and financial suicide. Jim Rohn often emphasized that the same wind blows on us all, the wind of disaster, the wind of opportunity, and the wind of change. The difference in where you arrive is not determined by the blowing of the wind but by the set of your sail. Taking responsibility is the act of grabbing the tiller and acknowledging that while you cannot control the weather, you are the sole captain of your vessel. When you blame external factors, you effectively hand over your power to those factors. If the economy is the reason you are broke, then the economy must change for you to become rich. This puts your destiny in the hands of something you cannot influence. Wealthy thinkers reclaim this power by internalizing their locus of control. They realize that even if they didn't cause a problem, they are responsible for the solution. This shift from "why is this happening to me" to "what am I going to do about it" is the exact moment a person's financial trajectory begins to change. It is the end of the excuse era and the birth of the results era. Taking responsibility early also means being honest about one's current standing. Most people live in a state of functional denial regarding their debts, their lack of skills, or their poor habits. The wealthy, however, use responsibility as a diagnostic tool. They look at their bank accounts and their health as a direct reflection of their previous choices. By accepting that their current reality is a harvest of seeds they previously planted, they gain the confidence to plant better seeds today. It is a grueling process of self-confrontation, but it is the only path to genuine liberation and the eventual accumulation of massive value. Lesson 2. They value personal growth over comfort. Jim Rohn's most famous dictum, "Work harder on yourself than you do on your job," is the fundamental law of wealth attraction. Most people believe that to make more money, they simply need to work more hours or find a better company. The wealthy thinker knows that income rarely exceeds personal development. If you want to earn $1 million, you must first become $1 million person. This means expanding your capacity for leadership, communication, emotional intelligence, and technical expertise. The job pays for your living, the self-work pays for your fortune. Growth is inherently uncomfortable, which is why the majority of the population avoids it. Comfort is the graveyard of ambition. Wealthy thinkers intentionally seek out productive discomfort. They invest in books that challenge their biases, attend seminars that stretch their vision, and hire coaches who call them out on their weaknesses. They understand that the you that got you to your current level of success is not the you that will take you to the next. Therefore, they are in a constant state of reinvention. They treat their minds like a garden. If they are not actively planting flowers, new skills, weeds, complacency will inevitably take over. Furthermore, the wealthy view education as a lifelong pursuit rather than a phase that ends with a diploma. While the average person treats their brain like a finished product after age 22, the wealthy thinker sees it as an appreciating asset. They prioritize skill stacking, the process of combining different areas of expertise to create a unique value proposition. By becoming a better version of themselves every single day, they become more valuable to the marketplace. And as Rohn taught, we don't get paid for time, we get paid for the value we bring to the hour. Lesson 3. They think long-term, not short-term. The concept of delayed gratification is perhaps the greatest separator between the middle class and the wealthy. We live in a society addicted to microwaves and high-speed internet, where we want the reward before we've even finished the work. Wealthy thinkers, however, operate on a different temporal plane. They are masters of the long game. They understand the law of the harvest. You plant in one season and you reap in another. You cannot plant a seed on Monday and expect a forest by Friday. This patience allows them to make decisions that look boring in the short term but lead to exponential growth in the long run. Long-term thinking manifests most clearly in how the wealthy handle their capital. While the short-term thinker spends their first windfall on a luxury car or a designer watch to impress people they don't like, the wealthy thinker reinvests that capital into assets that produce more capital. They are willing to live like no one else for a few years so they can live like no one else for the rest of their lives. They respect the power of compounding not just in interest but in habits and reputation. They know that a small edge maintained over a decade creates a gap between them and their competition that becomes impossible to close. This perspective also changes how they view failure. To a short-term thinker, a setback is a reason to quit. To a long-term thinker, a setback is just a data point in a 20-year journey. They don't get discouraged by a bad week or a slow year because their eyes are fixed on the horizon. This emotional stability allows them to stay the course when others are panicking. They aren't looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, they are looking for a build-wealth-for-sure strategy. By extending their time horizon, they lower their stress and increase their probability of success. Lesson 4. They guard their environment. The people you spend time with serve as the invisible thermostat of your life. If you hang around 5 broke, complaining and cynical people, you will inevitably become the 6th. Jim Rohn's warning about the average of 5 is rooted in the reality of social contagion. We unconsciously adopt the vocabulary, the work ethic and even the financial limits of our inner circle. Wealthy thinkers are ruthless about their social ecology. They don't see this as being elitist, they see it as being protective of their future. They seek out individuals who are further along the path, who challenge their excuses and who normalize high levels of achievement. Guarding your environment goes beyond just the people you talk to, it includes the information you consume. The wealthy are highly selective about what enters their mental space. They don't allow their minds to be hijacked by sensationalized news or toxic social media drama. Instead, they curate an environment of high-level ideas. They listen to podcasts that discuss philosophy and economics. They read biographies of the great builders of history. They understand that their mind is a high-performance engine, and you cannot put low-grade fuel, gossip and negativity into it and expect it to run at peak efficiency. Moreover, the wealthy create an environment of accountability. They surround themselves with people who won't let them play small. If they share a goal with their peers, those peers will hold them to it rather than giving them a way out when things get tough. This environment acts as a pressure cooker for excellence. By choosing a peer group that views success as a requirement rather than an option, the wealthy thinker makes high performance their default state of being. They realize that while you can't choose your family, you can certainly choose your tribe, and that choice will determine the quality of your life. Lesson 5. They act on ideas, not just learn them. There is a profound difference between the student and the practitioner. Many people fall into the trap of learning as a form of procrastination. They read book after book and attend seminar after seminar, but they never actually launch the business, make the investment, or have the difficult conversation. Wealthy thinkers understand that while knowledge is potential power, only action is actual power. They are biased toward movement. They know that a mediocre plan executed with intensity is far superior to a perfect plan that never leaves the notebook. Clarity is a byproduct of action, not a prerequisite for it. Most people wait until they have all the answers before they start. The wealthy know the answers only reveal themselves once you are in the arena. They are willing to fail forward and make adjustments on the fly. This willingness to be messy in the beginning allows them to gain the experience that books cannot provide. They treat every action as an experiment. If it works, they double down. If it fails, they learn the lesson and pivot. This iterative process is the only way to navigate the complexities of wealth creation. Finally, the wealthy act because they understand the cost of inaction. While most people fear the risk of trying something new, the wealthy fear the risk of staying the same. They realize that time is their most precious, non-renewable resource. Every day spent getting ready to get ready is a day lost. By taking immediate action on their ideas, they create momentum. Momentum is a powerful force that makes subsequent tasks easier and builds the self-confidence necessary for even larger leaps. The wealthy don't wait for the perfect time, because they know that the perfect time is a myth. They take the time and make it perfect through sheer force of will and consistent execution. Success truly does leave clues, and Jim Rohn showed us that wealth starts as a way of thinking before it becomes a way of living. If you adopt these principles early, your results will eventually have no choice but to change. Start thinking differently today, act consistently, and remember, work on your mindset and success will follow.